selling your deliverables for less than you deserve because you love the art.
I mean, that's so many artists want to shoot because, a camera artist, they want to shoot because they are creatively looking for an outlet, but the problem is they will devalue themselves because they just want to get the booking. Right?
Elaborate more on that.
They are willing to they're willing to get $25 to $50 an hour to do something they love in the shoot process of being on site, and they're losing focus of the actual work. As you know, like being on set or whatever, or doing the shoot, that's only like 20% of the job. You got to edit, you got to locate music, you have to maybe get different filters that you have to pay for, and you need to really spend a lot of time with
lenses,
right? All that stuff too. They lose sight of the expenses of time and effort it takes and equipment, and therefore they're willing to take anything because they just want the job because they love doing it. But meanwhile, they're working a 9 to 5 and getting paid better than they're getting paid for their art. And that comes to a point where they have to decide, is my art going to become a business or is it just a hobby?
So actually, maybe it's not even $25 to $50 an hour.
Could be less.
Could be $15 because you charge $300 for the shoot. It's an hour and a half to shoot,
Yeah.
plus travel,
Sure.
plus editing,
Right?
and then your deliverables.
Mm-hmm.
So you work for $15 an hour,
Maybe 5.
maybe 5.
Who knows? So like in talking to all the different people we talk to, they tell us, oh, I charge my day rate is, my half day rate is $250. Well, what's your day rate? Oh, my day rate's $500. So you get $500 for 8 hours. It sounds amazing, but it's not just 8 hours because of all the editing time and all the delivery time. And then every time somebody says, oh, I don't like this, can you fix that? I don't like this, can you fix that? I don't like that. Change this, transition that. I don't like the song you picked.
It's like an extra 2 hours.
Yeah. So their packages are too small. That's what it is. It starts off, their package is too small, and they are timid to actually offer their price as a higher price because they're timid that they won't get the deal. But that's like an industry problem because everybody needs to, in my opinion, every small starting videographer, photographer needs to increase their price all at once together, almost like unionize it, right? Like have them, everybody increase your price. Everybody increase your price.
I mean, these big companies do it, right?
Yeah.
They cost of anything right now in America.
Yeah.
Toilet paper, food, same thing. Price goes up,
Yeah.
you're paying for it, right? You're
Right.
not complaining.
Yeah.
So why should you
But you have to have the
downsize
quality.
yourself?
Because people don't believe in their quality of service. They want the gig so bad, they want the opportunity so bad they're willing to sacrifice. At the same time, they're like, well, I'm just by myself. How could I charge this much money?
Yeah.
I'm okay with this price. But the thing is, that's not a business, right? You're gonna live in your 9 to 5. You're gonna work your 9 to 5. You're gonna get home by 6 o'clock. You're gonna have dinner. You're gonna do your chores, do whatever you gotta do, run your errands. Now all of a sudden, their deliverable time is 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's 3 to 4 weeks on delivery. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Crazy.
if you were more serious about this, you can get paid more money and get more jobs, or get the same amount of jobs, get paid 35 to 40% more, and now all of a sudden you're 9 to 5, and that, what do you call it, the direct deposit demon, or what do you call it?
It's easy to have faith when you have direct deposit.
Yeah, that's what it is. So they have their faith in their direct deposits. They don't care, so they're willing to sacrifice their art. But the art is the only time they actually feel alive, right? When they're actually doing the thing. So their pricings are just terrible. Their packages are not made to sell. Like when you have a package, you have 3 packages, let's just say. Every package should be geared to sell the middle package. So whatever that price is, you have to add the most value in the middle package to sell it, but it doesn't matter because their prices aren't high enough. But the thing is like the analogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The analogy that we always use. However much money you're willing to take to drive your vehicle to a cone, go around the cone and drive back for 1 hour, whatever you'd be willing to get paid to do that is the answer. So are you willing to get paid $20 to spend an hour. That's not round trip. It's 2 hours, right? An hour there, an hour back. Oh no, you wouldn't get $20 to do that. Okay, would you take $50 to do that? I don't know. So whatever that price is, how much are you willing to get paid to drive to something, to a cone, to drive around it like you're crazy, and then come back? Whatever you're willing to take. To me, I would take $200. If you told me you give me $200 an hour for me to drive to a cone, to go around the cone, and then drive back, that's $400 for me. That's something I don't want to do. I don't want to do it. I'm willing to do that for that amount of money. Anything less, it's a waste of my time. So why would I charge anything less than that for something that I love to do? I wouldn't. And neither would you.
No.
And that's really what it comes down to. Now, it's different if it's like you're trying to show off a sample or get a little bit of work for a sample.
Yeah, like free work is okay, depending on the circumstance, right? If it's abused multiple times, yeah, it's not going to work.
Can't be abused multiple times. Free jobs, free shoot for an hour.
If they didn't see the value the first free shoot, why are you going back to do more?
Exactly. And you're wasting your time. I mean, unless you don't have a portfolio, then you have to build your portfolio, then you do it a couple times. But if you have 20 videos, that's all you need to build a portfolio. In my opinion, you need 20 videos of different lengths, of vertical, landscape, whatever. You need to have a good structure so you can show people and be ready for what they could ask for. But 20 is more than enough for a portfolio.
Yep.
And you could do that across like 2 clients, right?
Easily.
A friend who owns a business.
Or maybe if you want 5
5
clients.
Yeah. But now the question is like, what are people worth? So once you do the cone analogy, you figure out what you're worth an hour. Now you have to figure out how are you going to know how many hours it takes. But that's with that portfolio time. So count how much time it takes for you to get somewhere and get back. See how much time it takes for you to do the shoot and get everything you need. Maybe, we shoot in 2-hour intervals because we know we can get everything done in 2 hours. Some people might take 3 hours. Some people might take 4 hours. So you have to accommodate that way. How long does it take for you to edit? Right? Everything, every hour, you just take all that and you multiply that by the price that you're worth in your own mind, your value for the hour. But everybody's scared to do that because they want to get the job.
Yeah.
You just can't have fear when it comes to your pricing. If you're afraid of your price, that means either A, you don't have confidence, or B, you're not really that valuable. Like if you're afraid of saying what you're worth per hour, then you're probably not worth that per hour. Or you don't realize you're worth that per hour.
Or you could use some help with sales because you've never been down that road where it's like you have to make up your own prices as an entrepreneur in whatever industry you are, photographer, cinematographer, whatever it is. You have no experience. So I think also getting some mentoring, coaching in sales and kind of helping speed ramp your business into what it should be, because all of your outputs and deliverables are great, but your price is very low.
Yeah. And it's low because you're afraid of selling. Not afraid of, well, maybe they're afraid of selling.
Yeah.
How many people, like if you're a business owner and this is something you want to do and you want to run a video production business or a photography business, you're selling. Like anytime you're in business, you're selling, whether it's your business or somebody else's. The customer service is part of sales. Like operations is part of sales. The janitor is part of sales. Everybody in your business is a salesperson. And if you are a solopreneur, a solo photographer, you got to know how to sell. And some people don't feel comfortable with sales because they don't feel comfortable asking for money. And they're really bad at negotiating because they really want to get it goes right back to they really want the booking.
Yes.
They really want that.
Yep.
But you can't sustain. If you're not growing in a sustainable way, you're just not growing.
And then you're barely getting by just on cost of living because your prices are just not where they should be.
No. In my opinion, if you're really doing this, every retainer package you have, you should be like, okay, one retainer equals this many bills in my house. Mm-hmm. Do I come out with profit after that? No? Okay. Is my price too low? Am I not offering enough deliverables? Am I not valuable enough? How many shoots do I need to do? How many retainers do I need to do?
How about, is this business sustainable if I take some time off from the past projects that I've done?
Yeah, that's true. Let's go into that.
Yeah. So if you're not bringing in enough because your prices are so low, you're overworking yourself, and then you want to take time off, you want to enjoy some family time, you want to have weekends back to yourself, and you can't because you don't have those higher end clients who actually see your value, that are actually paying you what your price should be, and instead you're battling someone who's nickel and diming you every single time that they hear your price.
Right. But you're okay with it because you have a 9 to 5, so you don't care. They don't care, right? They're losing sight of what they're worth because it's like, oh, well, you know, I got my salary. I'm good. This is just a hobby. And for the hobbyists, like, just turn the video off. Like, this isn't for you. But people who want to turn their creativity into business and actually make money so they don't need to work a 9 to 5 if they don't want to, and go all in with this is, you know, hopefully this is a channel that you'll find helpful. Because at the end of the day, everybody's devaluing themselves.
Yep.
Everybody. Like, we've talked to so many different photographers, videographers, and some people are overvaluing their deliverables, and it's kind of crazy because they're doing the same thing for every single client. Like they like literally like sample templates all around. All their clients get the same exact thing for the same price, and they're overcharging. Great for them. They're making money. They're not putting the effort in my opinion, to
Right.
be creative every single time with every client. Like, every time we work with somebody, it's a different project. There's no template. It's a different way of being handled. It's different people. It's different personalities. It's a different way of just communicating.
Like also with the storyboard, like everyone has a different story to tell. So you're not going to use the same template for everybody. I mean, the work becomes mundane when you do that and you're not actually using the creative side of your business and your brain.
It's almost like greedy, right? It's almost like they're greedy in a way. Like, okay, we know this works. White backdrop. Put the person dressing nice. Make sure the lights are good. Run the text as they talk. Okay, we're done. All right, next guy. Like, it shouldn't be like a production line, like a conveyor belt. We're not making something that can be done in mass production. And I think video should not be done in mass production.
No.
Not every movie you watch is the same, although the same story structure, pretty much, you know, the 3-arc structure is always there in every movie, right? Like, the hero comes, you meet the hero, something in their world changes.
But what's the most important part to the movie though?
The challenge, in my opinion.
The challenge, but the scenes change
Oh yeah, the scenes are always changing. Yeah.
drastically. Like
Yeah.
2 seconds, boom,
Right.
another shot. 2
Yeah,
seconds, another
yeah.
shot.
5
boom.
seconds here, right? It's the tone. That's
Yeah,
tonality,
exactly.
right? But like, it's always the same structure, right? Every movie you ever watched, you know, 80% of movies follow the same 3-act structure. Heroes here, something in the world, the hero changes. They're now met with a challenge. They spend time beating the challenge. They look like they're going to win. They fail miserably. They come up. They, you know, them and their best friend, they hate each other. And then all of a sudden they find a way to get back together to meet adversity. Climax comes, meet adversity, overcome adversity. See you later. Every movie
Yeah.
is exactly the same.
So why limit yourself to a backdrop?
Yeah.
Why not take them outside?
Right.
Why
Tell
not
the story.
Yeah, why not just walk down Main Street?
Right.
I mean,
You can get, it's the same story structure, but never the same story. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And people don't realize that because whatever. So now they are undervaluing themselves or they're overvaluing themselves. So overvaluers have a template that works and they keep using it. People that are undervaluing themselves can't ever get out of their own way because they're never fully focused on what they have to do. Or they're just afraid to sell, right? That's the big thing. Like, sales in creativity, creative people are not good at sales. Well, no, artistic people are not good at sales because they see the art.
Right. And if you're a solopreneur, everything falls on you. So then it's hard to actually structure your business.
Because you're working 9 to 5.
Yep.
And a 9 to 5 is not a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 is an 8 to 6 because you got to drive to get there. Unless you're like,
8 to 8.
it could be 8 to 8, right? It could be 12-hour days. Who knows? And they're limiting themselves. And that's why they have a 3-week turnaround. That's why we like to have everything we turn around. I mean, retainer clients are different because we have like weekly schedules. But like if we're doing a regular project, we try to get it delivered within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the reason we do that is because it's like, oh wow, okay, we have it within 2 weeks. Now typically things happen, shoots happen, we can't deliver. But most of the time, I would say all of the time we're within those 2 weeks. But
Like,
sometimes
yeah, 99,
yeah,
98% of the time.
right. And it's not like we're working with 2 people. But we also can deliver things within 72 hours.
Yeah.
Right? Especially like first revision, first something, we can always give them within those 72
Yeah,
hours.
we've done so many same day deliveries
Yeah.
too.
Same day, well, it depends on the shoot, but yeah, if it's like clip, we're good to go. But you know, at the end of the day, it's about confidence too, right? You're confident in your work, you're confident in your ability, and that you can't teach confidence.
No.
You
You
know?
can learn it eventually.
Yeah, yeah, but for us to teach somebody confidence, they have to accept it in their own mind.
That is very true.
You know.
It's the mental thing more than anything else.
Oh, absolutely. Sales is mental, right? And creativity is mental, and art is mental. And then you're putting it out there, and now you're vulnerable because you're putting it out for perception. And I think that vulnerability bleeds into people's pricing charts. You know,
Yep.
they really, really want the deal. They really, really want the client. They really, really want the retainer. Oh, should I really charge them $2,500 a month? Like, is this what I can't afford $2,500 a month? If you can't afford $2,500 a month, it's not the issue. The issue is, can the client afford, and more importantly, do they see the value? Now, if you go to a smaller place that's not doing $2,500 a week in sales, they're not going to accept $2,500 a month for your pricing because, let's face it, they're not going to spend a whole week just to do marketing. They're just not. They're not going to see it.
Yeah. No.
They're not going to see the
No.
value. But if you can hit, hey, I'm going to create a package that's only going to be, you know, in total less than 10% of your revenue yearly, now you got people interested. Meaning a year of us is less than a year of their revenue.
Right.
10%.
Yeah.
Right? That's 10% marketing budget, basically. So if you know what a company's worth and you know how much they make per month in profit, not in revenue, in profit, then you're even better. Very hard to get that. But you could ask questions.
Always.
You could always ask questions to, hey, you know, how's the business going? Oh, it's going great. It's going fantastic. Oh, really, really? So how much like do these things cost, right? So how much does this cost? The item. They'll tell you how much the item costs. Oh, really? How much do you sell of those? Oh, you know, we sell like 100 of them a day. Now you can reverse engineer it. Right? How many days are they open? How much does that cost? That's their hottest item. They sell 100 of them a day, 22 work days in a month. So there's 2,200 that they're selling. What does it cost? Okay, now you have a ballpark estimate. If this is just one of their, if that's the only item they sell, you know exactly how much money.
Yep.
You know exactly how much money you're making. It's the 2,200 multiplied by the price. You know
Right.
exactly how much money they're making. Now you know how to structure your package.
Yeah.
And only people who saw the end of this video are going to know that.
Yeah, exactly.
got towards this part of the video. It's just not the end, but
I think also too, like if you know you struggle with being creative or trying to even stick with trends, that you should expand your team or find help
yeah.
because the burnout is real. So if you're noticing that your projects are taking longer to be
Yeah.
delivered, you're struggling to edit, you're struggling to do anything else, I think it's time where you limit your best abilities to what you know and then kind of deviate the business to, okay, maybe I don't like editing anymore,
Yeah.
and outsourcing, and then
Get the stuff you don't like to do, get somebody else who's good at it and likes to do it to do it.
right, because then that way the business can actually grow and become more sustainable, and you're not working all the time. You have some weekends back,
Yeah.
and you know that if the client and yourself are not a good fit, you still have money in reserves,
Right.
where
Right.
it's like, okay, you know, this is not going to work. I can't work with you, unfortunately. Best of luck. But you
Yep.
also have money saved because you see your worth. And
Yeah.
you avoided a altercation, not an altercation.
Well, it could be an altercation. You don't know. It could be.
You
are
avoided some
crazy.
drama that you don't want in your life
Right.
for not taking the client that you didn't feel fit.
No, exactly. But then you have the ability to say no because you've now delegated that work. You have other people, and it can be bartered. Oh, I can't afford somebody. How do you know? Right? Have the conversation. You might find an editor who's really good at editing and really good at sales, but doesn't do camera work very well. Now all of a sudden you can barter, like, hey, how could we work together, right? It doesn't always have to be a monetary transaction. It could be I'll work with you, you work with me, we help each other. You could find mutual benefits outside of paying people, right? At the end of the day, you have the HR hat on, but you don't always have to pay people for service if you can find something that's mutually beneficial for you and for them.
Right.
That's not easy, but now you have to find out what they're worth per hour, right? Now, if they're worth more than you per hour, now that just made the whole project more expensive. Should you be charged for time or creativity is another thing. But most people that are getting into this have to start by thinking, what am I worth per hour? Because eventually they're going to come to a point where it's like, oh, you want a commercial from us? It might take us 10 hours to do a commercial. We know how much money you're going to make on that commercial. So we're 25,000. That's what it is, because we know how much money you're going to make on it. We know what we're worth in creativity, and we know that it will take us 10 hours. Yes. So should we only get paid 2,000? Well, if you're selling something and you're going to make 30,000 on one sale, why should we devalue ourselves? Because we know how much money that's going to make for you, how much money we're going to produce.
Right.
And that's like another thing. Like, we have to be comfortable with presenting somebody a yearly contract for 80,000, knowing that 3 sales is going to make that back for them. For us, that makes the world. For them, it's like, oh,
Maybe one sale.
maybe one sale. Yeah, you never know. Sometimes could be just one sale that makes their money back.
Right.
Who knows?
I think like when you realize you're at a point in your company that you're very good at one thing and knowing you should be delegating, that's when the business grows.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you allow the time that you've freed up to fall on someone else who can do it probably even better than you can. Your business is going to scale because you have more free time to find more sales or whatever it is that
Even
you
more
need to do to grow. Yeah, more focused on what you want to do
Right.
opposed to the stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah. I can't edit, and I don't understand cameras, and I don't have the willpower to go like and understand every screen of every menu and what's wrong and what clamp. I'm not going to do that. But I know what a shot needs to look like. I know how to tell a story. I know how to sell. So that's what I'm good at. So that's what I'm going to focus on as me. Whereas, you put me behind the camera for too long and I'm going to break something. I'm just going to be bored and I'm not going to want to do it. I think that's another thing too. I'm not uncomfortable with learning new things, but I am uncomfortable with doing things I don't want to do for an extended period of time because that's not something I want to become good at. I don't want to learn how to snowboard. I went snowboarding once in my life and hated it. I'm never going back. Oh, you should go again and try it. Why? Why am I going to try something? I'm not even interested. I went because everybody was going and I was part of the crew. So I went snowboarding. I hated it. I got hurt. And I was like, all right, I'm not doing this again. And it was like, oh, you should keep going. Why? No, you should keep going.
You should keep going.
You have fun. You like it. I hate this. So when we go on snowboarding trips now, I go and I just go to the grocery store and I go and prepare food. So when everybody gets back, I make food. I like making food. And I like hanging out with my
Why
friends.
don't you just like
I
tie a
just
sled to someone's waist and
Could do
just
that
get
too. I'll do that.
pulled down
Go
on it.
tubing.
On the tubing, yeah.
I'll go tubing. I just have no interest in that. But it's the same thing. I have no interest in learning a camera and how it works. I just don't.
And I don't like dealing with the personalities, so delegate to you
Yeah.
and kind of
Right, going with the people.
yeah, exactly. Telling them, hey, say this over, or recognizing that the tone was off when they restated the answer the first time or the second time,
Yeah.
whatever it is. That's,
See, I like
that's
that
all
one.
you, man.
Yeah, I like that part. I like that part. That doesn't sound good. Do it again. Too many words. Say in less words. Right? That's what I like to do. But, but I know what I'm worth per hour. I know what you're worth per hour. And then that's how we design our packages right now. Our packages are designed by our value per hour and the value we bring to the business. That can be templates. Like your packages can be templates, right?
Yeah.
3 easy packages. This is what we're going to offer you. And now you need to know how to sell it. Now, again, you're always selling the middle one. And I have a nugget, but I'm going to keep it for now because eventually when we start helping people and coaching them, I'll give the nuggets away. I'm not going to give the certain nuggets away and how I'm telling you that you should sell the middle package using the other two. I'm not gonna tell you how we do it, because
Can't
that's no. We'll coach you, and you can come to us for that.
For real.
Yeah.
And should we tell them that maybe we're going to throw some events?
Yeah. Explain that. This is all your idea.
So, as creators and creatives, I think this part of New Jersey lacks almost kind of like a link up or a meetup, whatever you want to call it, a collab. We're thinking of launching.
We're going to.
Right, we're going to, but it's still in the planning works,
Yeah.
planning stages now. So we'd like all creatives to be under one roof. Don't care if you're a photographer, videographer, whatever it is.
Copywriter. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Editor. We're going to do a meetup. We're going to have a good time. We can kind of dive into some golden nuggets. We can network. And then we can all collab on either, hey, I'm not good at this, but I'm good at this. Direct them to the right person that could be there at that very moment, and continue to grow this community. Because at the end of the day, we're all under the same roof, right? Like,
Yeah. Everyone be a resource for each other.
right. And then that way we can kind of keep this momentum going where you want to delegate something out. Hey, Sal, I need help directing.
Yeah.
What's your hourly?
Right.
I'll pay you. Doesn't matter.
Hey, Mike, can you look at, I edited 4 videos. Can you take a look and tell me what you think of the editing? Or, hey, I just got a new camera. It happens to be a Sony A7. Can you help me?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like that.
And
or the business. How do I sell my business? How do I sell?
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, what am I doing wrong? How do I? Okay, let's talk. Cause
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all communication. Like from the networking to working together to selling what you are offering and communicating it and delivering it. It's all communication. Communication is like everything.
And we'll keep everybody that keeps showing up under one roof. We're gonna have it on a platform where you actually be able to communicate with people on the daily if you wanted to.
Yeah, community.
And then bring the creative world just like together, but on a constant monthly basis.
Yeah.
I think that would be the goal of like what
Sure.
we do with these events is just really, really grassroots. Everyone's kind of collabing and seeing what happens.
Yeah, and it's free. It's the ability for everyone to come together. I mean, obviously, if we're at a place that we're gonna eat, let's just say you can spend money.
Yeah, your ticket, right? Your
Right.
entry
Yeah.
ticket price.
Right. It doesn't need to be this whole thing like communication, contact, network. It could be free, right? Like obviously, like if you're gonna eat somewhere, like that's gonna cost money. But like a conversation with us, we're not gonna charge you. Just come to the event, hang out,
Yeah.
talk.
Have a
I mean,
coffee.
Yeah. Down the road, we could do conventions, and that's where we can get paid.
Yeah. That's for another podcast.
Yeah, that is. Do we have anything else we want to mention on that?
I don't think so.
No,
No.
we don't have a location.
But if you need help, we're here to serve.
Yeah, reach out. Like seriously, like DM us anywhere, or email us. Go to our website, recapculture.com. Culture stops at the R. CULTR.
CULTR.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
All right. Good stuff. Check them out. Boom now.